Welcome to the It's Never Too Late show. I'm Marjorie Fiore, your guest host for today's show. We're turning the tables today, and I'll be interviewing Suzanne Oshima. Suzanne's a life and love transformational coach at Your Next Amazing Story. And today's a good topic. Today's topic is it okay to remain friends with your ex? Stay tuned. But before we jump in, Suzanne, I'd love for you to share with the audience who you serve and why.
Sure. Thanks so much, Marjorie. So I help single women transform midlife into your best life and find love again in your next chapter. And the reason why I do this is, number one, it's my passion to help single women. But also, it always breaks my heart when I hear a woman say, oh, it's too late for me, when I know deep down inside, it's never too late for anyone. But also, I have proof that it works with my clients that have found love again in their next chapter. So let go of, your age. Age is just a number. You can find love at any age.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And I love that we're going to talk about this today, especially because you have so much experience. But if you were to ask 100 different people, is it okay to remain friends with your ex-boyfriend or your ex-husband? You'd get 100 different opinions. Some would say, oh gosh, no, never, be done with that, over and done. Don't be friends with your ex. And other people would say, sure, you shared something deep and you were close and you should absolutely be friends. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Is it okay to be friends with your ex?
So this is a great question, and this is a super hot topic, right? Because some people think it's okay, others would say it's not okay. And my answer to this question is, it depends. And the reason why I say it depends is because there's a lot of different factors involved in deciding whether or not it's okay to remain friends with your ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or whatever. Is you first want to ask yourself, why did the relationship end? Is it just because we outgrew each other? We decided that, we went as far as we could go and it ended amicably? Or did it end on a bad note, right? Where, he was a narcissist and it was a toxic relationship? That would be a no. The first scenario, I would say, if you want to remain friends, it could be okay. But I think the deeper question for everyone to ask themselves is, why do I want to be friends with him? Because sometimes if you dig a little bit deeper for some women and you ask them why they want to be friends with their ex, it could because they want to get back together with them. And so it's better to keep them close so that there's a possibility, right? So you have to get honest with yourself. If that's the reason, then it's the wrong reason, obviously, to remain friends with your ex. But if you felt, like you said, you shared so much and it ended amicably, maybe you share children together, then and you want it to be a healthy environment for your children, then why not, right? But there's so many factors involved, like I said, that you have to take into account, and you have to really be honest with yourself. So that's
I would think another reason that maybe you would want to, and again, I totally agree, it depends on how it ended. That's it. But if you live like in a smaller town, or you're going to be in the same circles, like it's worth it to put forth the effort to at least, like you said, be amicable and just kind of like be friends with them. It's not like you have to go to lunch and do things, but more cordial, not like, oh, if he's going to be there, I can't be there. But just because you're both adults, hopefully you've made the decision together and it wasn't anything horrific. But I think that if you're going to be in those social circles, then just kind of like be proactive about it and say, I can do this, if you can.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point. If you live in a small town, right, and you're going to see him, you don't want it to start controlling your life where you start avoiding where he's at, or, oh, I'm not going to go to that dinner party because he's going to be there. Take back control of your life. Be proactive and say, hey, this didn't work out. We can still be friends. But it's about being cordial. And like you said, not going out all the time or going for walks, because that's not healthy if you're looking to win him back.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I think that if you have a better, I don't know, I think it's going to affect any other relationship you try to pursue, whether you stay friends with them. That could be something attractive, like, oh, look how confident this person is and how mature that they're able to say this doesn't work for me anymore and still remain cordial. Or it could be a negative effect, like, oh, they have so much hatred and they, their whole life, like you said, their friends have to say, oh gosh, we can't invite this person because this person's going to be there because, it could even, if you have the same circle of friends, which you probably do, you don't want it to be awkward for them either. So I think that it could, you've got to look at all sides, but at the end, it's got to be what works for, protect your heart and your head. That's what matters most. And then, do what's best for both of you. So.
Yeah. And it's important for women also. And the reason why I say women, ladies, don't get mad, because women are my audience. If I was talking to men, I would say the same thing. I think it's important for women to really be honest with themselves and ask themselves, am I clinging on to this because of, it feels safe, it feels familiar, right? It's easier to cling on to this than get out there and date and meet someone else, right? Because let's face it, a lot of people don't think about this aspect of it, but sometimes remaining friends with your ex can also hold you back from moving on to a new relationship. And so you also want to think about that. And something else just popped into my head too, is that, maybe you can't be friends right after it ended, right? Maybe it might take 6 months to a year to have that space so that you create that distance, because sometimes it can be really hard to go from the romantic to the friend level right away. And so you might just need a break of 6 months to a year. You go your way, I'll go mine, and then you can come back together more level-headed as friends, and then you don't have those romantic feelings anymore.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I love what you said. And again, it's all personal, but I'll tell you the truth. If my husband had an ex and he was super close, and I really wouldn't like that. I mean, I wouldn't like if he had a volatile relationship, but I think that it would hold somebody back from moving on, because why are you so invested in that person? And as much time and energy and emotion you're investing in your ex means you don't have that available to invest in somebody else. So I think that it kind of,
I love that.
Yeah, it's like you only got so much. So, and I like attention. I need some attention over here. So it's like,
Well, I love that you're honest, and it's true.
Yeah.
We can't just think about ourselves, right? If he's involved in another relationship or marriage, we also have to think about the other women in his life, and is she okay with it? And I believe we as women, it's important, even if we don't know the person, that we respect other women, and that if she feels threatened, is, you know what, maybe I don't need to be friends with him, right?
Right.
So,
right.
I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, good. Okay, so I think that that was fun. That was pretty informative. Any other tips you think, or did we cover most of them?
Yeah, no, I think we're good.
Yeah, and I think that, you do hold on because they knew the most about you, but you just got to accept that somebody else is going to know that. You've got to open that up to somebody else and not let them be your default for every time something happens or every time you need something, that's the person you go to, because that's just not your life anymore. So that's got to be a hard adjustment too.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hate when I hear that somebody got divorced like 25 years ago and never remarried or never dated again, or just kind of like, and I don't know. I mean, it's twofold, because I hear mostly like that with men, which could just be because that's my experience, but it's just kind of sad to me. Like, we're not meant to be alone, and we're not meant to just settle. But I think some people do either feel like they had a bad experience and just don't want to do it again. And like you said, unless they choose not to, but there is somebody out there for everybody. And I think online dating is so amazing that we have that opportunity to kind of like cut to the chase. Everybody's on the site for the same reason, the same goal. And then you have, ways to really focus it and make sure that we're maximizing and doing it right. Because you can be online, and that's why you don't have a lot of success. And that's why I wanted to bring up, I know you have a free online masterclass,
Yep.
which just expands all the information we've been talking about today. But the name of the class is The Secrets to Meet a Quality Man. So let everybody know how they can find out more about it and get registered.
Sure. So the secrets to being a quality man, it's my free masterclass. And in this masterclass, I tell you the number one way to meet a quality man. I'm also going to share with you, if you're doing online dating and you're not getting results, you're not meeting quality men, I'm going to tell you why that's not working for you. And thirdly, I'm going to tell you how to turn it around. And so that you can start meeting quality men online. And trust me, ladies, this works. I promise you, it's worked for all of my clients, and I promise it can work for you too. So if you'd like to sign up, if you're watching the video, click right here on the video. And if you're listening to the podcast, just go to yournextamazingstory.com, and it's at the top of the webpage. You can click on that and sign up for it.
Great. Well, thanks everyone for joining us today on the It's Never Too Late show. The show is available in both video and podcast format and can be found at yournextamazingstory.com. See you next time.